You are listening to Words Between Worlds, a podcast that brings you stories full of kindness, voices that spark warmth, and friendships that cross cultures and generations. Join us on this journey as we discover new worlds of meaning by sharing messages of hope that rage across continents. I'm your host, Li Qing. This is a special episode marking the 55th anniversary of the beginning of Ping-Pong Diplomacy, a moment when a simple sport helped open the door and lay the groundwork for the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and the United States. It all began with a small accidental encounter between a U.S. player and a Chinese team. During the 1971 World Table Tennis Championships in Nagoya, Japan, American player Glenn Cowan mistakenly boarded the bus of the Chinese team. What could have been an awkward encounter instead turned into a warm exchange, with Chinese athletes greeting him with friendliness. On the final day of the tournament, Chinese officials extended a formal invitation to the U.S. table tennis team to visit China, a gesture that would soon resonate far beyond the worlds of sports. Following the World Championship, in April of that year, the U.S. table tennis team traveled to China, becoming the first American sports delegation to visit the country in 22 years. A chance encounter between players sparked something far greater than a match. It sparked dialogue. To better understand what that moment felt like, we turn to one of the participants, Connie Swearis, an American athlete who was there when history was made.
We played a friendship match in Capitol Stadium here in Beijing, and that was a real thrill for me because there was 18,000 people in the stadium to watch us play. And in the United States at that time, table tennis isn't that popular, so we'd be lucky at a national championship to have 300 people watching us. So to play before a crowd of 18,000, that was really something. And then we also met Premier Zhou Enlai at the Great Hall of the People, and I personally got to shake hands with him. This has really made an impact on the global community, because it opened up the doors for communication. And then President Nixon went in, and Chairman Mao and Nixon signed a communique, and a few years later, diplomatic ties were established. But we didn't have any idea that it would become such a historical event, and that all these anniversaries keeps it alive.
Connie recalls not only the matches, but the warmth and the curiosity, the smiles and the unexpected friendships that form across language barriers.
We were also taken to a farm commune, and one of the ladies that was weaving a basket gave me a basket to take home. So, we tried to interact as much as we could with them. But I think the big thing with ping-pong diplomacy is that it opened up the door for communication.
She also shared her views on the ping-pong diplomacy.
My idea of what ping-pong diplomacy is that it helped to open up the doors for communication by our people-to-people exchange. By going in and playing friendship matches with them, it opened up the doors for communication, and it broke down barriers, and it started to promote understanding between our two countries. And my hope is that the younger generation today will carry the ping-pong diplomacy legacy forward.
In Chinese President Xi Jinping's congratulatory letter to an event commemorating the 55th anniversary of the beginning of China-U.S. ping-pong diplomacy on April 10th, he mentioned that 55 years ago, the older generation of leaders of China and the United States, with their extraordinary political wisdom and strategic vision, reopened the door to friendly exchanges between the two peoples, creating the much-told stories of the little ball being able to move the big ball. He noted that it is of great significance to advancing the China-U.S. friendly ties that the youth from both sides renew the affinity brought by ping-pong diplomacy and engage in a series of sports exchange activities. She emphasized that the foundation of China-U.S. relations is laid by the people, and the future of bilateral relations will be shaped by the youth. Xi called on the two peoples to better understand each other through exchanges and cooperation, jointly move forward through mutual learning, tighten their bonds of amity, and make new contributions to promoting the stable, healthy, and sustainable development of China-U.S. relations. And perhaps no one embodies that future more than the young people taking part in this year's event. Among them, we spoke with Brandon Isaac Kelly, Sydney Terrell Divine Walsh, and Doc Allen Hopkins.
I think that letter was absolutely wonderful. I agree with what he's saying. I think we should have our youth to come together to build more friendships and have more time together. I think this is an amazing trip, amazing event, be able to come to China and celebrate ping pong, celebrate friendship between two countries.
I think that is a beautiful letter. And I agree with that. I think athletic exchanges, sports exchanges, especially among youth, can really help diplomatic relationships. And it's just like encouraging sports is a healthier way to live. It brings out the best in all kinds of people.
Best I can come from that, from his letter, is we need to gain strength and wisdom from the past. And if we don't do that, we're bound to repeat it, and we don't want that. We don't want a cyclical cycle of idiocy. And so if we just keep on giving power to the youth and giving them opportunities to befriend more people, I feel like we will just create a better world.
Their comments show a shared belief that sports can break down barriers, foster genuine connections, and offer a constructive path forward for bilateral relations. For them, ping-pong diplomacy isn't just history, it's something they're actively shaping. Beyond national perspectives, the global sports community is also paying close attention. Petro Solin, president of the International Table Tennis Federation, also addressed the event, highlighting how table tennis continues to serve as a platform for unity.
Today's anniversary of Ping-Pong Diplomacy really shows what people can do by connecting to each other. It was also what I reflected to when I was listening to the letter from the president of the country. It also starts with the youth, and that is why education and friendship really can play a difference also in the whole world. I believe in sport, and that sport can connect people, and I think that was also proven today during this anniversary.
From a spontaneous exchange in 1971 to a global symbol of diplomacy, ping pong has shown that even the smallest ball can carry enormous meaning. Today, as new generations pick up the paddle, they're not just playing a game, they're continuing a legacy. A legacy that reminds us connection doesn't always start with grand gestures. Sometimes it begins with a simple serve. Thanks for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and share. Until next time, this is Li Qing, and this has been Words Between Worlds, bringing voices together, one story at a time.